Man, what a show we have had for you today. Hopefully, you tuned in for all 3 hours and 1 minute of the show. If not, you can always download the Three Man Front podcast. Brian Edwards gave us some picks for this college football weekend. Chris Stewart, the voice of the Alabama Crimson. Ryan McGee, who was the major contributor to the documentary that you'll see tonight at 6 o'clock on ESPN. Things in regards to the Alabama Crimson Tide coming up this weekend against the Georgia Bulldogs. And Trey Wallace, who will be in attendance there between the hedges.
Just curious, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but I'll ask you. Do you think Lane Kiffin with this special and they're going to him and say, hey, this is our idea. We want to do this documentary on you. Does he get compensated for that?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Didn't think so, but wasn't sure.
No. Now, I don't think he would have done it, but there could be a situation when you do a project like that, if you know that there is let's just say, an organization that you are very fond of or something that you're very active in.
Yeah.
That may be perhaps, a producer, an independent producer, maybe not so much ESPN or CBS or somebody like that, but maybe an independent producer would be like, hey, look, you're involved in the American Heart Association.
Yeah.
We're going to give a donation of X amount to your, or foundation or whatever the case may be. But in this case, this is absolutely no. There's no money exchanging hands.
So, okay, something like The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. Is that a situation where he's making money to be a part of it, or it's, hey, whatever royalties or something may come from it in the future, you're going to get a cut of that? See, I'd be interested in those bigger kind of because I have to imagine, like, for how expansive that was, he's getting some sort of financial compensation for something like that.
That's a good question. I don't know about that particular situation. Obviously,
it would, because Michael's so guarded and everybody was waiting on that. Like, when are they going to do that special? Would he say, okay, this is the only way I'm doing it?
Or maybe it's just, honestly, it's a massive ego boost for them and it keeps their name in the headlines. And so they're willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
Because it just makes them more popular or look good, whatever.
Well, we're fascinating with you. Things are going well in your career. We're fascinated with all these aspects of, I'm sure a lot of these guys, they're flattered. Some of them are probably flattered, but still say, what's in it for me?
Well, yes.
It was just like, I can only speak of the documentary that, the 30 for 30 that Paul and I was involved with.
Yeah.
And that was Roll Tide, War Eagle. That was produced by Joe Tessitore and Bruce Feldman. They came to me and Paul and said, hey, we got an idea. We want you guys to be kind of the major focus of this. And I helped out Bruce a lot behind the scenes with things that they were going to put in the documentary. And I made nothing off of it, neither did Paul. But obviously it was an ESPN presentation, and ultimately Joe Tess and Bruce Feldman did make money off of it.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Well, I could see it where if it was the case, hey, back in the day, we're going to put this on DVD and we're going to sell them for $19.99 a piece all over the country. Yeah, you probably want a little bit of a stake in that if they're going to use you and that's going to be the focus.
But typically the producers and the director, they will make the money off of the doc. Because what they're doing is they're getting paid from the entity that's ultimately going to air it. So you're being paid to produce it and then obviously make a little bit of money to cover your expenses.
Well, it's that season when you may be running the AC during the day, but the heat at night, and that stress on your home comfort system is why you need a Trane. They've been named America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, so you know that you can count on the reliability of a Trane to keep your home and your family comfortable for years to come. So go and find out more at Trane.com.
Maybe you don't follow a lot of golf. I know many of our listeners, a lot of people play it on the weekend. A lot of people play it during the week after work, things of that nature. You follow the majors. You follow, obviously, the Masters. That's the number one golf tournament that most people follow in this country. But the Ryder Cup is coming up this week at Bethpage Black. And I love it.
I do too.
Just the competition with the Europeans. Mm-hmm. And it's always a lot of fun. And so it's on U.S. soil this year. So it was pretty interesting. So as they're doing their practice rounds, Keegan Bradley, who is the captain of the United States team, he is coming off one of the greens, and take a listen to who is in the gallery and who is pumping up the fans.
What's happening, man? Yeah, I saw it, man. Hey, good luck to you, man. Hey, guys, let's go. USA! 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 USA!
If you couldn't tell, that was former LSU coach Ed Orgeron,
No.
who is at the Ryder Cup, and he is firing up the fans with the chant of USA, USA.
Yep. He did have a shirt on.
He
It looked
did.
like he was staying fit. Could you imagine him at the Phoenix Open?
Oh,
Can we please get that?
Hey, guys, let's go. USA! 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 USA!
I think that he was just doing it because he wanted to let everybody know in Stillwater, Oklahoma, that he's available for a job.
I thought he was politicking for the South Alabama job.
I got that. Conrad's going, did they fire the Major Applewhite? What's Landrum talking about?
I get it. USA. Yeah.
United States
No,
of
you
America?
get it now. You get it now. It doesn't count.
I already
Doesn't
got
count.
it.
But no, Coach O, he looks good. Looks like he's having fun.
So we don't report rumors on this show,
Never.
but I do want to bring something up that I actually checked on.
Don't strike me down.
So there was an Instagram post via Yay, Alabama. And it's a picture of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and it says, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. And a couple people posted that it was about Alabama going to wear white helmets.
Black helmets.
Now, that'd have been white helmets, not the black helmets. So I actually did a little bit of phone calls and text. Because first off, I'm like, that's not happening. So like whoever is putting this out there, that's not true.
You're getting synthetic grass before we're getting alternate uniforms.
So I reached out, and of course I was told that the white helmet thing is not real. And that post from Yay, Alabama, their conjecture was that it was an announcement of further renovations and potential suite construction inside Bryant-Denny Stadium.
So they're shrinking the press box even more.
Yeah, it's going to ultimately be, there's only going to be like a seat for Rodney.
There will be one scaffold.
Oh no, I'm just waiting for when they do the renovations. Ooh, this guy from Jocks, he's only covered the team for 1 year, so yep, sorry on the chopping block with the
They're going
press
to have a
box
seat for
shrinking.
Rodney, Nick Kelly, Mike Rodak, and Charlie Potter. That's the only 4 people.
Well, they all deserve to be there,
Yes.
so that would be nice.
Those are the people
For
that
them.
will be there.
That's right.
Oh, Conrad, we have you in our auxiliary media area.
That's the upper deck.
Yeah, you're right behind that beam.
Yeah, well, they're probably tired of having to tell me to stop cheering in the press box this season.
I hope you haven't done that.
I
Yeah,
haven't-
that would not be good.
Have you been stuffing your face too?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'll take some of the complimentary popcorn though every game. That's nice.
You got to hang out with Tyler Watts last time, right? Like you went and sat in the booth with Tyler and hung out.
I did get to hang out with Tyler.
Yeah.
It's nice to see him.
I hear he's a fan of the station.
He is. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I hear.
Good dude.
Yep.
I'm still holding out for the black helmets, but maybe one day.
If you play in another meaningless bowl game like
Yeah, just
Alabama
go ahead and
did
do
last,
it then.
do it then.
Yeah, absolutely. Take it to the Music City Bowl this year because that's where
If you're gonna
Alabama's been slated to play for the
If
last
you're going to
3
play
weeks.
bad in a meaningless game,
Yeah.
at least wear the alternate uniforms.
And then you can blame the uniforms.
Then you blame the uniforms.
Yeah.
I like this plan.
Sounds great. Now, not the playing in a meaningless bowl game part, but, if that just happens to be the path.
Sorry, no black helmets.
Yeah.
I know.
It's all right. We'll see next Tuesday when they make. Just another example of us being stuck in the past, right, Landrum? It's time to move forward.
Yes,
Everything's right in front of us,
that's right.
including the black helmets, if they wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Some news out of Auburn this morning on the SEC teleconference. The Auburn wide receiver Horatio Fields broke his foot at yesterday's practice. He will be out indefinitely Hugh Freeze says the next man up is Perry Thompson. It's his time to show he's ready to earn it. So Perry Thompson, next dude up for the Auburn Tigers. We're still kind of going through the schedules that were released last night. Auburn's 2026 schedule, man, that's going to be a gauntlet. They got home games against LSU, Vanderbilt, Florida, Arkansas, road games in the SEC, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. They do get Baylor at home in that home away series. Meanwhile, Alabama next year, they've got Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas A&M at Bryant-Denny. On the road, they got Mississippi State, Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, and Vandy. So they'll have 4 inside Bryant-Denny, 5 on the road in SEC conference play. Overall, what did you think just in the totality of it? Do you like it? Do you like the direction and the way they came about putting it all together?
Yeah, I do, because it's not so copy and paste. And now with adding the extra game, which I was a fan of the whole time, I think we all were, just as college football fans, and seeing good matchups and at least notable teams facing off. And it's good for the fans that pay a lot of money and work really hard to earn that money to pay for tickets and to take their families down there. But I like it, and I like how every so often you're going to start getting those matchups that you typically had to wait a decade plus to see. That's fun. That's good. Now with the college football playoff, the ever-expanding college football playoff, what's another game? It's a new experience. Auburn fans will get to go to Austin, Texas eventually. Alabama fans or name the team get to go there. So that'll be good.
Are you familiar with the name Nathan Rourke? Not York. Rourke.
Was he a quarterback?
He was a quarterback.
Yeah, didn't he play for Indiana?
No, you're thinking of the guy last year.
That's his brother.
That's his brother.
Mm-hmm.
That started his career at Ohio. And
his brother, the one you're thinking of, is Curtis Rourke.
Curtis Rourke, not Nathan.
And the reason why it's confusing is because Nathan Rourke, he played, and then his brother Curtis followed him at Ohio. And then he went to Indiana for 1 year and put him in this college football playoff. Had a great year.
By the way, how did Mendoza look the other night? Ooh. Okay, go ahead.
And Curtis Rourke, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a backup with the 49ers. I think that's correct.
I'll look that up.
I think that's correct. Well, his older brother, Nathan, is that right, Molly?
Yes, 49ers.
He's with the 49ers. Okay. So Nathan Rourke, so he was born in Ontario, Canada. He moved to the United States to play high school football his senior year. Would you like to take a guess where he played?
I was going to say something funny, but I'm not going to. He played at Archbishop.
Where he played high school ball?
Mm-hmm.
St. Thomas Aquinas. I don't know.
IMG.
All 3 of you, excellent guesses. They're all incorrect. So it goes from Ontario, Canada to Elmore County, Alabama's Edgewood Academy.
Wow, okay.
That's where he played his senior year of football. How you go from there to there.
My grandmother taught school there a long time ago.
That's where he played his senior year of high school football. Then he went to junior college and then ended up at Ohio. He's had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He's been a backup. He has not registered one single stat. He's with the Jags. He's in camp at a couple other places.
He's a practice squad guy.
Yeah, but he set some numbers and some records in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, BC.
So he went behind a microphone yesterday, and he is none too happy about all these potential changes in the Canadian Football League. Take a listen.
New rule changes are garbage. It's garbage. Played Canadian football rules all my life. I went down to the States, proud of the game, being able to explain the differences. The waggle, the yard, the extra person. These are the things that are unique about the game that make it different. The rule changes to me make it sound like we want to be that league down south. We want to be that league. And from recent history and years past, leagues that have tried to emerge to try to be like the NFL haven't existed for very long. The CFL game has existed for longer than the NFL. The worst part I think about it, honestly, is the fact that the people who play football, who have the football knowledge, were not consulted about this. We have a commissioner who hasn't been here for a year, who's already trying to change the game. And I don't believe he loves football as much as I do, as much as many fans do, as much as people who grew up loving this game. I don't think you cannot make an adjustment to the Canadian football game because you're changing it. And what we're moving towards is not the Canadian football. I'm passionate about that. I came back and played. I went down and played in the NFL in that league, and because of the uniqueness of it, what's special about it. And we're getting away from that. And that, frankly, makes me pretty pissed off.
Did I miss it where Rob Manfred is now the commissioner of the CFL?
Did I miss any statistical category that he registered a stat in the National Football League?
I know what I didn't miss. You said that league down south.
Why did you come to America to play high school football? Why did you come to America to go to junior college? Why did you come to America to go to Ohio University to be a quarterback?
And when they announced the rule change that we talked about earlier in the week, I would think if you're a player, right, you probably want to get closer to the NFL because then if you go and you play really well and at a high level in the CFL, you're probably going to have a better chance of maybe getting a shot one day at the NFL. You can't tell me that those people in the Canadian Football League love Canada and football so much that they would rather play in the CFL than the NFL. That is a lie.
Do you watch
that is a lie.
The CFL? Because I told you I've not watched CFL in forever. Do you watch the CFL because of its uniqueness? Or would you watch it? Would you be more prone to watching it with the North American or the American rules?
The only way that I'm watching it is if there is no other North American, i.e. United States form of football.
Doesn't their season run during the summer?
Yeah, it's being played now.
Okay.
Have you ever heard a college player say, yeah, my dream is to go play in Canada?
No.
Now, in 2022, Rourke did throw for over 3,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. He had a really good season.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting, I'm like you, Langem. I caught the league down south. It's like you're on 3 NFL rosters.
It's kind of a big deal.
I mean,
Also, the NFL was founded 38 years before the CFL was, and he said that. Anyways.
And not to mention the fact that I guarantee you, if you pull television ratings in Canada, I think the NFL does pretty well on Sundays.
Probably so.
As opposed to the Canadian Football League playing on a Friday night and a Saturday.
Who would be Canada's team? The Lions? Because they're up close. The Vikings?
Seahawks, maybe?
Seahawks? That could be
For
one.
the Vancouver folks.
The Bills, because they're very close
Bills.
across the lake from Toronto.
Bills.
Good call. I would think Bills and Vikings, maybe.
Everybody loves the Cowboys.
Well, and yeah. That's true.
In Winnipeg, they do.
Yeah.
I thought everyone loved the Alouettes. Isn't that the saying?
Alouettes.
Montreal.
Big franchise.
Stampeders is my favorite.
Then a couple of years ago, remember we followed the story of remember they had to change the name of the Eskimos to the Elks.
Yeah.
They were the Edmonton Eskimos. Because of political correctness, they had to change the name to the Edmonton Elks.
Have they changed the dessert that's found in the frozen food section?
I don't know.
The Eskimo cream pies?
I haven't been to Canada in a while.
No, I think they
know.
sell them here in the States.
But I know, but Canada was telling them to change the name.
Canada was.
Yeah, it was a Canadian Football League team.
Yeah.
They're not going to listen to anything we say down here.
I figured there was just a universal group that went around
I don't think so.
everywhere. Said we have a problem with your name. Change it. They were kind of like
That's only in Cleveland and
they
Washington.
were kind of like PETA or Peace Corps. It's kind of universally just you got a group of fired up individuals that want to go and change things.
Do you have any Eskimo brothers? I guess not.
All right. The avenues we go down. More 3-man front here on Jocks. 124 on Jocks. The SEC teleconference was earlier today. Bad news for Auburn wide receiver Horatio Fields broke his foot. He will be out indefinitely, according to Hugh Freeze. Perry Thompson, next man up at the wide receiver position for the Auburn Tigers.
But our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the absolute best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are not? You make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. It's simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I did want to go north of the border if they had it available to Canadian football. But that is not offered today. You got Ryder Cup. You got all kinds of stuff with the college football and the NFL weekend. But we will go professional baseball today. Jake Cronenworth of the San Diego Padres. Runs plus hits plus runs batted in, 0.5. I'm going to roll with more for Jake Cronenworth. So that means all he has to do is get a hit or score a run or knock in a run. Any combination of those just to get above that 0.5. So I'll go more there. And then I will scroll down and I will go, Ryan O'Hearn. Random, I know. But Ryan O'Hearn, 0.5. I'm going to go more. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code WJOX. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
So the most watched college football games of week 4, the numbers are in. Florida-Miami was number 1. 6.5 million people tuned into that. That's actually the 8th most watched game so far in this early part of the season. Auburn-Oklahoma came in the 2nd most watched for the week at 6.1 million. They're now the 10th most watched football game this season. Michigan, Nebraska, watching Nebraska self-implode. They were the 3rd most watched game over the week. Texas Tech at Utah was next, followed by Syracuse and Clemson at 3.4 million. Iowa, Rutgers, cannot believe 3 million people must have had money on the game that tuned in for Rutgers and Iowa on Friday night. Illinois, Indiana did 2.5 million. To me, that, at least on paper, that was a much better game to potentially watch than.
At least early on, yeah.
So if you're keeping score at home, which I know all of you are, the top 10 college football television audiences so far from week 0 through week 4, coming in at number 10 is Auburn, Oklahoma. 9, Texas A&M, Notre Dame. 8, Florida, Miami. 7, Florida, LSU. 6, Michigan, Oklahoma. 5, LSU, Clemson. 4, Florida State, Alabama, had an audience of 10.66 million. Notre Dame, Miami was 3rd. Georgia, Tennessee was the 2nd most watched so far this season at 12.58 million. And coming in at number 1, Texas, Ohio State. No big surprise there. 16.62 million people.
Will that be surpassed this weekend?
Yes.
Yes. Penn State, Oregon, yes. I believe it will be.
Do you think Alabama and Georgia will get a higher number than that too, or just Penn State and Oregon?
Just Penn State and Oregon.
I agree.
So
Good news. College football viewership is healthy.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
yeah, very, very much.
You know
so.
what that means? College football, as we know it,
More NIL.
stays.
More portal.
That's exactly right.
More opportunities to buy off coaches like Mike Gundy.
That's right. I did think Danny Cannell, a very interesting comment that he made, because I hadn't thought about it, but when he pointed out, yeah, you look at the point spreads every weekend, and they're a lot different than they were a few years ago. I thought that was a very good observation on his behalf.
No, I agree with that.
Good thing for parity.
If you got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, call Golston Tree Service today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros, anything and everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals, fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until that next storm can cause damage on your property. Call Golston Tree Service. Also offers 24-hour emergency tree service. So when it comes to your trees, don't risk it. Call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443. 4443.
Pat writes the questions in cursive, but he asked them in print. Pat ponders next.
$132 at the place for great food of all varieties. They have a full menu with apps, salads, burgers, and steaks. They have unique cocktails and a great bar with over. So go in. It doesn't matter what team that you cheer for. They're going to have all the football action on the big screens in the bar. So go and check them out. They're in the Stadium Trace Village off Highway 150 near the Hoover Met.
If you were watching last night, or I'm sure you saw the clip, the disturbing clip in regards to the Detroit Tigers Cleveland Guardians game last night on David Fry, who had squared to bunt and
Scooball ran one inside.
Hit him right in the face. And
Scooball looked like he wanted to throw up.
Yeah, he threw his glove through his helmet.
That was awful.
Through his hat. It was bad. Well, there's been a status update by the Guardians. It says imaging and clinical examination have confirmed that David Fry sustained multiple minimally displaced left-sided facial and nasal fractures.
Ooh.
While the injury will require close monitoring, including serial assessments, David is expected to fully recover over the next 6 to 8 weeks without the need of surgery.
That's very good news.
Yeah, that's great.
David was recently discharged from the Cleveland Clinic and is resting comfortably. So that was a update from the Cleveland Guardians on a situation that was really ugly last night. Very bad. So
Pat's got questions. Hopefully we can answer them. This is Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trustful. Go by and see them right off of I-459, exit 32, or visit their online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com. Question number 1. Kirby Smart is famously 1-6 against Alabama. Will a win Saturday by Kirby Smart's Bulldogs finally get that Alabama monkey off of his back?
No, because the next time they play, whether it's this season or a season following, it's going to be brought up again. I think that you get that off of your back once you do it once in Athens, you do it once in Tuscaloosa. Do it a couple more times.
Yeah, see, I would say it's almost like the Tennessee situation, right? They've won 2 out of the last 3 years. I feel like we all agree that monkey is off the back of Tennessee, right? They've gotten the better of Alabama here recently. I think same thing for Georgia, right? Now, granted, the one you got was a national championship, which is great. But yeah,
it was north of the Mason-Dixon line.
True. And if
it was not in the Southeastern Conference footprint, so it didn't count.
Well, and if Jameson win, anyways, we're not getting into all that. But yeah, you got to beat them at least 2 out of 3 times to get that monkey off your back.
Yeah, not just this one. If they do win on Saturday, and I would agree with Landrum, if they do happen to play again later this season, and if Georgia were to win again, or maybe even next year.
Yeah, 2 and 6, that still gets brought up.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you win the next 2, then you don't hear it near as much, if at all.
Well, you win this year, you win next year, then y'all don't play in 2027. Mm-hmm. So then when that game comes back around in 2028, I think it's a different narrative at that point.
Because at that point, it will be Kirby Smart is 2-1 versus Kalen DeBoer.
Unless they also play in the postseason at some point, and that goes Alabama's way.
Question number 2. In the 7 games Kirby has faced off with Alabama, Georgia has given up over 35 points to the Tide 4 times. Does Alabama score at least 35 points this Saturday in Athens?
I don't think they do. And for that matter, I don't think that Georgia does either. I would lean that somehow, some way, don't ask me how, this game, if it has the potential to go high, and I know what you're thinking about Tennessee, Georgia, and that score. But I think this game, if it's going to go extreme one way or another, I would say very low scoring, what just happened.
Yeah, no, I don't think they get to 35. I'm sticking with 31-27, like I said earlier in the week. And I think, I think that's a good offensive day, but I wouldn't be surprised, like Landrum said, right, if it's maybe a lower scoring. Ends up being a defensive matchup, but I do think the offenses are probably going to rule the day a little bit. But yeah, I don't think you get to 35.
No, I don't think they'll get to 35 either. Maybe somewhere in like the 25 to 30 range, but I don't think it'll get that high.
I mean, if this game ended up 24-20, we consider that a low-scoring game, right? These days in college football?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Question number 3. If Arkansas makes a change at head coach, which one of these 3 coaches is most likely to have a conversation with A.D. Hunter Yurachek? John Gruden, Jimbo Fisher, Gus Malzahn.
Gus was just tired of being a head coach. That's what he said, right?
That's mama.
I know.
It's Arkansas guy.
But I think a guy like John Gruden, the name Hunter Yurachek knows, that's going to be the biggest name that you're going to be able to attract to a job interview that would most likely take the job. I think it's John Gruden.
He's also made it clear that he wants to get back into coaching.
Mm-hmm. College.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's John Gruden. I think Gus is maybe immediately you go, oh, it'd be Gus. But like Landrum said, I think he's pretty happy just being an offensive coordinator and getting away from all the head coaching responsibilities that come with that. Personally, I think Jimbo Fisher still thinks he would be entitled to a bigger job than Arkansas, and so he wouldn't want to jump at that. So yeah, I think it'd be John Gruden because he would be willing to take a job, and he'd look at it as, I get to go coach in the SEC. Hell yeah.
I think it's Gruden. And like I said, he has made it clear that he wants to get back into the college game.
Next question. Born on this day in 1936 in Greenville, Mississippi, Muppet creator Jim Henson. What's your favorite character created by Jim Henson?
I think Fozzie.
Fozzie the Bear's your favorite?
I think so.
Not Kermit? Not Miss Piggy?
Mm-mm.
I like Miss Piggy. She's got a little something to her.
Oh.
She's got some attitude.
Oh, Conrad.
Yeah. She's kind of sassy, but like she's got it together at
She
the same
is
time.
sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piggy is sassy.
She's got a good character, good personality. So yeah, I'll go with Miss Piggy. The whole Kermit, and I like Kermit, and the memes and everything are funny. But now I just hear Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, what are their names? Okay, the two old men in Muppets.
You mean?
oh yeah.
Oh, the grumpy old.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
always so funny.
Is it Bert and something maybe?
No, you're thinking of Bert and Ernie.
Yeah,
That
I'm
one
thinking of
guy
Bert
looks
and
like
Ernie.
he's the guy in the Smith Barney commercial.
Statler and Waldorf.
Who were the chef? What was the chef? The Swedish chef? Is that what
Oh,
it-
I liked him too.
I like Fozzie. He just never wanted to cause trouble.
Did you know that Jim Henson was a Mississippian?
I did not.
No, I didn't.
I was never a big Muppets person. I didn't watch that a lot as a kid. Did you, Molly?
Are you a man or a Muppet?
I was more of a Sesame Street kid than
Like
a
both.
Muppet kid.
Is Landrum's looking at all the
Is he going down
different
memory
Jim
lane?
Henson
You know,
characters?
Gonzo is interesting.
He was interesting.
I know who Pat liked. Animal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! That's a good one. That
Right.
might be me on Saturday.
Pepe, wasn't that one of them? The little guy?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the final question of the day.
It's you. Your questions.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. Not gonna. Did
either.
not see that one coming.
All right, this next one is from BB. She writes, "We are bombarded by advertisements more and more every day, especially online. China has recently rolled out a program whereby toilet paper is behind a paywall in public restrooms. You either must watch an ad in its entirety to get your TP, or you have to pay a fee of about 7 cents per square. How would you react to this if it becomes a reality in public restrooms in the United States?"
Are you kidding? I'm watching that ad. I'm not paying for TP in a
Yeah.
public restroom. And try to avoid a public restroom if all possible. But
Don't have a
given
square
some
to
of my
spare.
issues that I have, a lot of times convenience does not wait on me.
I might start keeping a little pack in my purse.
I just want to know, BB, how many do I get? How many squares do I get
What's 7 cents? Oh, I see what
After
you're saying.
watching the
After
ad,
watching the
yeah.
ad.
after watching the ad?
Oh, I don't know. She didn't clarify that.
Is neither an option?
What if they just have a bidet?
That'd be nice. Or you just kind of roll the dice.
It's a
In this economy? I would watch the ad. I already do it on YouTube. I'd watch the
So
ad.
how much money would you need, Landrum,
What?
on just on a general trip for you to a public restroom?
let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm just trying to think how much money you need
Oh,
per square. 7 per square. 7 cents per square.
You strike me as a 6 square and then you fold it over so it's a double stack of 3. You strike me as that kind of guy.
oh, I'm bougie when it comes to. I probably use way too much toilet paper.
Me too. Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, it looks like I've got one of those. If you're just pulling it from the dispenser and wrapping it, it's not the way. Never mind. Yep.
Well, you
I use a
you
lot of
wipe
it.
it like that, so it, you need the longer string of squares.
So how much money?
Bidet sounds great. I really needed one the other day.
$3.
$3?
I was in our master bathroom. It's in our room, and I realized that.
You didn't have any toilet paper.
And so I
Were you buying a new bath mat the next day, or
I hollered for my wife. I said, "Babe, could you please bring me some toilet paper?" And then I reminded her, "This is why we need a bidet."
Great point.
have you ever been stuck where you had? I mean, it was nothing or paper towel before. That's not fun.
Someone texted and says that's why the Walmart toilets are always clogged.
Oh.
Another one, I'm easily dropping $20 per dump.
It sounds like you have some bowel issues if you need $20 per time.
$20 for the toilet paper.
That's like at least a whole roll, I would think, for $20.
Are you using the jumbo pack to? I have no idea.
Well, and heaven forbid you're one of the people that, you take it out and lay it on the toilet seat in a public place. You know, the people that do that.
Wait a minute. You don't do that?
No. But I also.
Oh my gosh!
That takes too much time, man. I'm not. No, I'm not doing that.
That should have stayed in the drafts.
You're telling me you do that every time?
Since I've been old enough to use the restroom by myself, yes. That was taught to me very early on, Molly.
Me too.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
you
taught
don't
to
go
me,
bare
and
cheeks on a public restroom toilet seat.
You can hover.
No.
I got nothing for him, man.
I mean, seriously.
Conrad, there's some things in life that we just need to keep to ourselves, and that's one of them.
Thought it was a fair question.
It just unreal.
All right, that's today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trustful. CourtesyBirmingham.com. We'll get to your text messages, and we've got time for a call or two if you'd like to chime in on this one. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. It is Ron Jocks, Pat Ponders. Text line 205-834-9450, brought to you by Courtesy GMC.
But let's clear this up because people are saying, hey, tell Conrad I agree with him, the hover method. Whoa. That was totally Conrad doing damage control. Right, Molly?
Yeah, absolutely.
He saw our reaction, and so then
Like,
he went,
yeah, I do that.
hover method. There's no way. Please do not believe that he goes hover method. There's no way he does hover method.
Well, you assess every bathroom differently and what the strategy needs to be.
Yes. For instance, portalet.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
That's a hover.
Yeah. Yeah, if I even go in there. But yes.
That's a no. That's a no.
Yeah, that's almost a non-starter. Most
Slight
of the time.
bend in the knee. Slight bend in the knee.
Yeah.
But Conrad informed us, if you're just joining us, through one of the questions that was asked in Pat Ponders, that he does not put toilet. He was actually going out of his way to make fun of people that put toilet paper down on the toilet seat in a public restroom prior to sitting down if they have to use the restroom. And then it occurred to us that Conrad goes bare-cheeked when he goes in public restroom.
I didn't realize it was as common as it's just a lot of work every time. I also, in my defense, not that this makes it any better.
Sorry, it's too labor intensive for you to put down the toilet paper.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But like you, I rarely ever use a public bathroom because I despise them. But
I know.
Nature calls sometimes.
Text line is open. Shall we? 205-834-9450. My mom taught me the chevron squat at an early age. My tail is not touching a public seat no matter how much paper you lay on it. Work those quads, folks.
Oh, that's such a good name for it, the chevron squat.
To Conrad's defense, cheek to seat isn't that big of a deal as long as you wash your rear end in the shower anyways.
I definitely do that.
Conrad is...
What? Which one is it?
149 text from the state of Georgia.
Well, haven't we all?
No. Jody says GMAC is salivating when he learned about the Chinese toilet paper ad.
I don't know that one. I don't get the joke.
We are reminded that Conrad also pees on his own feet in the shower.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Conrad's admission regarding his use of public toilets should be today's worst thing I've seen. It is.
Double feature. There you go. Pat has so much shame on his face for me right now.
Tim says that's your Alabama graduate. I don't put it on all the Alabama graduates. That's just Conrad. Kyle says this conversation is the reason I listen to y'all. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
How in the world did Conrad get married? This man is a savage. Sam.
It's a great question for my wife. That would be a great question.
You know what? I think it speaks volumes for you in other areas.
I must make up somewhere, right? I must have some good qualities in there.
He's terrible at math, but he reads at a gifted level.
That's right. Yeah, there you go.
I build a nest on every public toilet seat. Conrad is an animal, says Andrew. He builds a nest. What happens if you watch the ad and the dispenser is empty?
That's a great question.
Then you're stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yep. We call it building a bird's nest. Another text. Oh, good tip by Corey. You also need to put TP in the bowl before you go so you don't get the splash.